when it comes down to it, what are word tracks that salespeople use and why does it matter? I'm Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about word tracks. Now, if you ever watch a politician, this is very relevant for you. If you ever watch a politician and they ask a question, they always lead off with some sort of crazy story. And it doesn't matter where they're from, doesn't matter what party they're affiliated with. Somebody says, "Hey, Mr. Politician, what do you think about, birds that are flocking?" And they'll go like, "Well, that's an interesting question. And when you think about birds flocking together, here's what happens, okay? That first 3 or 4 seconds was meant for their brain to go, what do I know about birds and how do I not step in it and create some problems for myself, okay? You as a salesperson, you as a business professional, there are word tracks that you should create. Now, me, myself, I have a running list of 373 different word tracks that I can pull from when I'm talking and when I'm dealing with it. And some of them come from being around, just being in business. Some of them I created, some of them other people created. One of them that's a go-to for a lot of people is either way you're going to pay. Right? So like someone's like, well, I want to wait till tomorrow to get this done. Well, either way you're going to pay for it, okay? That's a word track. It's part of a script. Now, here's the thing that you have to know about any type of script is sometimes you have to modify them to make them your own. And where I see salespeople struggle when I'm writing with them, I'm writing Copilot and I'm like, that sounds like the salesperson, that sounds like the salesperson, that sounds like, who is that talking now? Where did that guy or that girl come from? That's not the same person that started out the sales call. That's somebody brand new. So if you're going to use a word track or a script, so to speak, so like a word track is smaller than a script. It's like 1 or 2 sentences. You got to know you got to make it your own. And you got to work with it. And this is one of the struggles that I see salespeople face the most. They are scared to role play in sales. They'll take sales tips, they'll take sales advice, and they'll internalize them. They'll put them up here in their head in a big giant vault, and then when time comes for them to use it, they get freeze. They're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know what I'm supposed to do because they don't practice. So I'm going to give you my super secret sales tip, my awesome sales advice for the day, and the sales lesson that you need to learn so you can avoid sales sabotage. I'm trying to see how many times I can see sales in like one video. Keeping count, just so you know, right? That's to role play your word tracks that you have learned so you can make them your own. I put mine on index cards. I went to the local place that sells office supplies. I paid like $5 for 1,000 index cards and I wrote them down. And then I just started role playing with them a lot, right? That's one of the ways that you can figure out how to use word tracks for you to sell more and close more deals. If you really want to learn how to sell more and you really want to learn how to close more deals, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put in the work and the effort that nobody else is willing to do. And that means, like when I watch movies, so the other day I'm watching a movie and it's like high time drama. Like at the peak of drama, an attorney was talking and he said something that was amazing. I wrote it down. And I'm like, I'm going to turn that into a word track for me when I'm dealing with one of my buyers, right? I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it. And it's not anything from the industry. Nobody has it but me. So when I say it, people will be like, I've never heard that before. I'm like, that's right, you haven't, because I got it from something and created it and reconfigured it to make it work for my industry, okay? You got to have some word tracks. You got to have some mini scripts or whatever you want to call it. There you go. Now you got one thing to do from here. You got 2 things to do from here. 2 things. If you get a chance, in the box down below, write down one of your favorite word tracks. I gave you either way you're going to pay, right? Either way you're going to pay. That's a pretty cool word track. So write one down in the box below. That would be fantastic. The second thing is, if you've never been to my videos and you've never subscribed, find the subscribe button, click on subscribe, and every time I send out a video, which happens frequently, daily at this point, you are going to get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out a video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.